This song's called Easy Now, and I wrote it last year, which is 2014, in the summer in Louisville, Kentucky, which is very rainy and beautiful there, lush, so the song kind of has that rainy vibe. It's almost over. The fever will run out. Now the nights are colder. Who will lift your face to see how the stars shine brighter when you're lonely? The rain came down, ran across the river. Sweet the sound, and the sand familiar. You pulled the clothes from the line and came in. You were needed at my side. In the open, my heart beats loudly. We're not broken, no, we just are free again. Again. Easy now. It's almost over. To the friends who stuck around, go and hold them closer. The ones that watched you wander out on the rocks when the light of day was fading. In the open, my heart beats loudly. We're not broken, no, we just are free again. Again. Easy now.
What kind of music, like from your childhood, do you remember sort of filtering through when you lived in Kentucky?
My mom and brothers were my biggest influence of music, and that was like all over the place in terms of, you know, world music. And then, but the Louisville character influence comes through, you know, growing up in elementary school and whatever, and listening to like country hit radio and all that kind of stuff. But I was a big fan of Van Morrison and Aretha Franklin when I was a kid. And yeah, it's really hard to tell what you actually get influenced by, what actually seeps in. So, but those are some.
Your father was not really big on television.
Yeah.
And so maybe that gave you a chance to work on your music at a younger age than most people would. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I'm not sure where you... Yeah, that's true. He was famously throwing out TVs from the house. That he gave us a little recording device to entertain ourselves, my brother and I. He's 2 years older than me. And we'd run around, and he has these tapes still, and they're outrageous. We just made up songs and walked around and narrated. And there's some pretty creative stuff in there for little tiny brains, and it definitely stimulated something.
And when was the first time you actually picked up a guitar to accompany yourself?
In high school, I was probably 17. Yeah. Up till then, I'd just been singing.
Just singing a cappella?
Yeah, and writing songs without instruments, which now just blows my mind. I can't do that as easily without a guitar now.
You started writing songs when you were like 9 or 10?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what were those songs
grade.
like?
There was one very patriotic song I wrote, and then I got an award from the school for that, so I was like, okay, they like this theme. And I tried to write like a historical song. I write for audiences, apparently.
Right. And so then you went to University of Georgia.
Yeah.
And so Athens has a pretty fertile music scene. And how did that affect your music and, you know, what you were playing at the time?
I mean, there was so much going on, and it was my first chance to play publicly. And so I think Athens for me was more of that experience of playing to an audience. That was the biggest lesson. But there were all kinds of bands I loved out, and one of my favorites was Nuclear Spring. I don't know if they're still around down there, but yeah, I chose Georgia because music, I could get away with being in that environment while still doing what my parents thought I should do.
And so then after Athens, you went to Argentina for a while?
Uh-huh. You know everything. Okay. Did your research.
Did you play music when you're in Argentina?
I did. I got there, I got off the plane and went to this guitar shop I knew about that made really beautiful, simple guitars. And I wish I remember the name of the guitar shop now. But when I came back home, I couldn't bring it back, so I left it with a friend down there. But I tried to learn flamenco guitar and things like that.
It was a nylon string?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
So you weren't playing any of your own songs when you were down there or performing your material? Just kind of soaking up what was going on around you?
And playing with that guitar.
So for the new record, you wrote a bunch of the songs while you were in Greece?
Yeah.
Was your trip to Greece purposely to write songs, or did you just kind of do that while you were there to pass the time? Or?
The intention was to go there for a month ahead of a tour I was doing in Ireland and the UK. So I had to be over there anyway, and there was a friend who wanted to try to inspire an album of some kind, and a lot of different things happened where I just ended up by myself writing a lot of songs in the cold months up around the islands and stuff. I get a lot of my lyrical content from books I'm reading and everything. So being in Greece, I tried to read as much of the stuff that you're supposed to know, you know, all the classics and philosophers, and a lot of that soaked into the music. Also, at the time, on the Spanish tour that we had to do, there was one gig where we were supposed to, myself and the other guy accompanying me were supposed to write the live soundtrack to a movie, or to play it live, so perform an hour's worth of movie soundtrack. And so it's called The Bear. It's a French film, and that actually probably influenced my music more than the reading or the islands. I was just like, okay, we got to write soundtrack for, and then so all these songs started being more atmospheric and natural, because the movie was all in the mountains. So this song's called Something Small, and it's from the record called Electric Ursa. And this song, I was challenged to write a song while watching TV, and so this is what I wrote while watching TV, and a theme about metals. So here it goes. It's a small town, it doesn't ask for much, broken down and always building back up, something small, something to shine the light. for those passing cars, the hopeful words they've drawn. He's a young man, light load on his chest, single again. He follows a dream to the west, to a town nearby. A hand on his back, and her haunting eyes, and a clear voice whispering, it's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. You stoke the fire, holding on to the light, folding the layers and bending them into shape with a pounding iron, a heat that draws the moths out from their holding walls. To your humble home they come, it's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's all laid out in front for you to take it. It's a small town, it doesn't ask for much.
The banjo player Abigail Washburn, I know that I think you opened for her a while back, and you once said that she told you that music is a war of attrition. What do you think she meant by that?
A lot of people have to give up for various reasons or decide. It just doesn't work for those first years. There's nobody, I mean, rarely. So if you just stick around, I guess it just, if that's how it happened for her, just like I just kept going and not diverting or giving up on it.
Well, what's interesting is I know one of the artists you admire is Vashti Bunyan. Mm-hmm. And so along those lines, she quit for 30 years and right. Before she came back. So should we read anything into that at all?
I don't know. I think she's one of the flukes. That's like it rarely happens where someone rediscovers somebody and they're still living and they get to have that revival.
So we don't have to worry about a 30-year hiatus with you then?
Well, you never know what you have to worry about with me. I don't, at least.
Let's talk about your guitar for a second. You brought along a Collings, looks like an OM. Mm-hmm. How did you get this, and what can you tell me about it?
It was my cousin's guitar, and she passed away, and her brother gave it to me on the occasion of my album release show in Louisville, Kentucky. He brought this afterwards, and I was just in love and so struck by that. I get to have a little piece of her through that, so it scares me to be traveling with it, but I got a good case. So
how did you go about developing your guitar style?
Well, for this record, it changed a lot because I wrote a lot of them on a classical guitar.
Okay.
And I've always played very soft, and that irritates many sound men and women, but I think I was listening to a lot of Leonard Cohen songs, the way he's a huge inspiration to me, and listening to the way that the rhythm, just carrying the rhythm through finger picking, and so, I mean, obviously that's what it's for, and doing most of it by yourself. I was writing it by myself in a lot of isolation, so trying to just be more of the band and enforce more of the rhythm, and then be experimental with tunings, because if you play a whole set and whole 2 hour, with that film I was describing, it's like you gotta explore more than just a standard tuning to keep my ears engaged and entertained, at least.
So what kind of tunings have you experimented with?
I don't know the name, but this is tuned a half step down altogether because I really like playing in the C shape. Mm-hmm. But my voice likes B better, or B flat even better, but I wouldn't take it down a whole step. So I drop this down, and I drop this down. I hope you can see the strings. I don't know the notes. It's going to be bad. And then just different things. An open tuning, to me, has more mystery and possibility, and I love, the banjo is a big influence on my retuning as well, because I love modal tunings on banjos. Mm-hmm. And the mountain songs that I like, the Appalachian songs and that are in modal tunings, are just so haunting and beautiful.
Gives you that drone effect, kind of.
Yeah, any drone, so lovely to have. And so that's made me start changing the guitar tunings more. This song is called Stay on My Shore, and just imagine a Greek island, and you're looking at one of their big ruined temple doors, and I was looking at this temple of Apollo. Sounds very luxurious, and wanting the gods to come back is kind of the idea. See them step through their giant doors. All right. Stay on my shore and don't desert me. And if you go, the wind will blow you back to me. And if your boat is broken out on the rocks, it was an angel